to DeFi, Degens, Drip, and Farm for Poverty, where on this channel, our vision is to empower the impoverished by helping you find financial freedom through crypto assets. Please subscribe and leave a comment and a thumbs up. Hey guys, welcome back to DeFi, Degens, Drip, and Farm for Poverty, where today we're going to talk about our good friend back on the channel again, Michael Saylor. And in this video, he is talking about Bitcoin and where he thinks it'll go, and also about getting regulation into the crypto space, specifically coming from the US and the SEC. And regulating the industry, because there's a lot of capital sitting on the sidelines. He himself has invested a lot, but there's a lot more that can be done once institutional money gets put in. But I'm going to tie this into Drip, because his logic, how he thinks about Bitcoin and the use case and where it's going, can help you apply that same thought pattern to Drip. So we're going to play a clip here that's about 3 minutes long, and then I'm going to explain, how this relates to Drip, because this is a Drip channel, of course. But we can definitely learn from some of these really smart investors and people in the space like himself. So let's take a look.
Asset class.
You said something really important there, I think, which is a lot of people got taken advantage of through this period. Is the argument then to be made that until this regulation, this should be for sophisticated, and I hate the word, but I'll use it, sophisticated investors only? Actually, retail participation here is too high risk.
Well, I think the challenge is if you wait for a decade for everything to be cleared up, the price of Bitcoin is going to be 10 or 100x more than it is right now. So you have to choose whether or not you want to enter knowing that there are about a dozen things that are going to mature the asset class and make it more transparent, or whether you want to wait for all those things to take place and then pay a much higher price when it does. And everyone has to decide where they're going to land there. But Julia, let me make one big point. The flight to safety is a grand illusion. You don't have the choice to do nothing and comfortably move forward. For example, the true inflation rate in all of our currencies runs 7% in the best years, 14% in bad years, and 20% or more in a crisis. The yen has weakened against the dollar 19%, the Great British Pound 12%, and the euro 10% just year to date. So if you put all your money in a currency bank account and then you had to go buy oil, which is up 33%, or wheat, which is up 32%, what you found is the safe, risk-free strategy is resulting in you paying 50% more in local currency for the things you have to eat and you have to use in order to keep from freezing to death. So there's no safe haven.
But I would argue, Michael, in this situation, Bitcoin certainly wasn't a safe haven this year either. You could make a bigger point about investing over a period of years, but on that comparative basis, Bitcoin's had a shocker too.
Yeah, if you're looking for something in the next 3 months, clearly you have to sit in currency, but you're losing 20, 30, 40% of your value sitting in the currency. Bitcoin's gone through 3 boom and bust cycles in the last 2 years. But if you zoom out, look at the 5-year picture. Bitcoin's up 50% a year in the last 5 years. 50% a year for the past 2 years, 120% a year in the past 10 years. That's 10x better than NASDAQ. That's 5 to 10x better than pretty much any other option. So if you're wanting peace and calm in the near term, there is no safe haven. The long bond is down 23% year over year. So what you have to do is decide, are you going to stay on a sinking ship, or are you going to get on a lifeboat and be tossed about on the stormy seas? And Bitcoin represents that lifeboat, and it's hope for everybody in the world if you can take the long view and focus on the fundamentals.
At 932.
All right, so a lot of alpha dropped by our man Michael Saylor, and what I wanted to kind of highlight is what he mentioned is basically like the risk reward. So like he was talking specifically about Bitcoin and people waiting for the use cases in crypto and specifically, and maybe adoption. And it's like, do you want to wait? So if you know the utility is there and that it is not going anywhere and it is going to improve with time, then you know that at these prices, you are getting a deal. I'm talking right now about Bitcoin, but that same argument can be made for drip. Why? Because he also made a statement that's almost, I try to write it down, direct quote, but he said, if you know there are a dozen things to mature the asset class in the next decade, why would you wait? And we can say that there are a dozen things that are coming to mature the ecosystem of drip and the animal farm. If you listen to Forex's AMAs, then you know what's coming. He has a lot of things in the works for the ecosystem. It's not an asset class like Bitcoin, but the good thing about being in DeFi and being in a project and being in a dev who's trying to build is that we're technically getting insider trading information, if you will. We know what he's building. We know what he's trying to do with it. This would be no different than like, Tesla or Apple telling you about their 10-year plans and things of that nature, so that you can say, okay, I see where they're going, and right now they are grossly undervalued, so I'm going to get a portion of this value that's coming right to in the future. So the good thing about drip is that you don't have to wait too long, like as long as a decade for Bitcoin, but it will definitely reward you if you're willing to believe in the ecosystem that Forex is building and the use cases and utility that he stated that are coming to the system. So since he's mentioned these things in multiple AMAs, and pulling this chart up now, this is from the last AMA. I'm not going to go through this. It's been gone through already. But the Dogs Roulette game, the new Animal Farm AI is up. The Pig Pen game that he's got, that's an actual game that can be marketed from different like CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko, places that don't want to do DeFi, but they'll do games. The vaults, meaning other projects can have their tokens listed. Scratchies, which can be a white list or white label product or service to other developers and goes back to support Drip and the native assets. The new Drip UI that he copied from the Charles Schwab model to help get bigger investor capital in. Him hiring one of the devs from our local ecosystem to help support it. Redesigning the tax vault so that it helps the Drip ecosystem as well. So this is exactly what Michael Saylor just said. If you know there's a dozen things coming to mature the asset class and you know you're getting a deal, why would you wait? And there's a lot of people sitting on the sidelines now waiting for this price to go up. But that doesn't really make any sense. Like, why would you buy it at 20 or 30 or 40 when you can get it at 10? Because the money is made in the bear market. The money's made when people don't understand the value. So people are often focused, I've said this multiple times, on the price, but the value, and I just showed you those things that are coming, and that's just in the near to short term. And yeah, there could be delays or whatever, but the point is he's developing and we can trust him to develop, and he's pulled through on the developments on all the other things that he said. Some other stuff that fell through, but in the long run, you can trust that Forex is trying to build something. So we don't know when that'll be done, but we know that he is indeed trying to build. And since I've been in, I've seen him launch the Animal Farm and launch the Piggy Bank just in the short time that I've been here. So 6 months, 2 projects, right? So that's actually not bad. And if you look at the entire ecosystem, it's been up about 15 months, and you have Drip, Faucet, the Reservoir, Piggy Bank, Animal Farm, and Pig Pen. So that's 5 things in like 15 months. So that's really not a bad track record. And there's more coming. Granted, we've had delays and things of that nature, but again, look at the price and then look at the value, and then ask yourself, is this asset undervalued right now? And if it is, then you should be buying. That's where the smart money goes, and that's how you will make money in the long run. And the name of the game, I've said it other times, is acquiring as much drip as possible. Once this starts getting into the 10,000s, it's not going to matter what the price of drip is, because by that time, you will have seen insane price appreciation, as well as your dollar cost averaging coming down and your total payouts getting towards max payout. So we've been holding this line of $8 to $10. So if this is any indication of the future, then you can say that this is the bottom for this bear cycle, meaning drip next time it corrects will not come back to touch these levels. Previous bear cycle, it corrected to about 6 and some change. So we haven't seen that right now. So we're about 33% higher than its last one. And if it goes 33% higher than this in the next one, then 12 to 15 will be the new floor. So you're getting insane value right now if you were to get into drip. So that's why I wanted to bring up the Michael Saylor kind of analogy and have him explain it. But he also mentioned about sitting in, fiat. So I mentioned this before as well. If you're sitting in your traditional bank account and you're losing, as he indicated, just from inflation, you're losing 14%, and then the price of goods going up itself, depending on what you buy, another 20, 30%, you've just lost 50% of your buying or purchasing power. So why not take a gamble on a high risk, high reward platform that can offset that? Like, there's no guarantees, but the risk reward ratio, especially at these prices, is insane. Like, I took a high risk. I'm gambling with money I can't afford to lose by taking a interest arbitrage on the loan. But that's how much I believe in this, and I knew I wouldn't have another opportunity, and I didn't want to wait and just nickel and dime myself into it. So I'm putting my money where my mouth is, and as I said, you guys will be able to see on my channel how this played out, because my team rewards has nothing to do with this balance. I did this all myself. So it'll be a good indicator to find out how this shapes up. As I said, in about 2 more months. I'm giving it 6 months. So I'm up to 72 airdropped and 30 that I received from Juvier. So those can just negate each other out and cancel out this. So you can just say that I've put in by myself about 1,200 drip. So will this work out? I'm pretty confident it will. As long as BNB is here and, God forbid, Forex doesn't get hit by a bus. Those two uncertainties that I have no control over, I am 100. Take those two off the table. I'm 100% certain that I will reap the benefits of this. Like I said, if you listen to the AMAs, you see what Forex is building, and you listen to, again, how smart money is made, how investors think, like Michael Saylor just explained to you, then this is a no-brainer, guys. I don't know any other way to explain it to you, but if you're still skeptical, go ahead, sit on the sidelines and just watch it play out for me. And then, you can get in later. But like he said, if you know what's coming, why wait? You can either wait and pay a higher price or get in now. So I prefer to get in now. And if I had any more money somewhere, I would go ahead and do it. I've been looking, trying to find some. But that's all I got. So until next time, guys, lift daily and achieve your impossible. See ya.